Your Money, brought to you by the Welch Group.
Higher interest rates have certainly been a win for savers, putting more money in our pockets.
In today's Your Money, WAFF 48's Haley Baker sat down with a financial expert to break down why this boost in income can be both a blessing and a curse.
Higher interest rates have been great for savers, but there are also potential downsides. We got Marshall Clay back from the Welch Group this week, here to explain what our viewers at home need to know.
Yeah, so our viewers have benefited greatly over the last couple of years from higher interest rates. I know it's hurt a lot of people looking to borrow,
right?
But folks who have dutifully saved and have a bunch of money saved in savings accounts or money market mutual funds, they found themselves getting a lot more income over the last couple of years. And that's great, right, on the surface, but it does have some potential downsides. And one of them is that you're going to pay a lot more money in tax, and it could be caught off guard by this as well. We had a case recently where a new client came in and they had been paid $50,000 more in their money market mutual funds than they had the previous several years. And so when they got their tax forms, going into April, they had a lot of additional taxes that they owed that they weren't really considering. So it's something for our viewers who have been benefiting from this over the last couple of years. It's something to be aware of as you move towards April and the tax deadline. And so what I tell folks is they need to make sure, they may need to reevaluate and make sure that their tax withholdings are sufficient, particularly if they're still working. And then also, consider working with your tax accountant or your financial advisor to see if you need to do some type of quarterly estimated payment so that you're not caught off guard. If you're disciplined and you kind of set all your taxes aside, I think you'll be okay. But it's really the anticipation, the expectation management there, because the last thing you want to be doing is you give all your statements to your accountant and you're thinking that you're good, and then all of a sudden they're coming back to you saying that you owe $5,000 or $10,000 in extra tax. That can you do not want that. Right. And so the next thing it could do for you is it could launch you into a higher tax bracket, right? So a lot of our viewers may be in a certain tax bracket. If they're not anticipating this additional income, they could get launched up and maybe from the 12 to the 22% tax bracket, or maybe even a higher tax bracket. So that's a second order ramification that could come from this income. So I'm not saying that we don't want the extra income, but you see kind of some negative aspects of this. And then certainly our viewers that are on around 65, it could have negative outcomes as it pertains to those Medicare Part B premiums, because those premiums are based on your income. It's a 2-year look back period where they assess your income, and it can cause those Medicare Part B premiums to go up dramatically. So make sure you're taking this into account as well, because those surcharges on the Medicare Part B premiums can be $87 per month per payer, and they can rise up to maybe $529 a month. So if you think about if you're a couple married filing jointly and you blow through certain caps, potentially you're talking about $10,000 more per year in Medicare Part B premiums. So making sure that you understand your income, where you are in these different tax brackets, can make a huge effect on how much taxes you owe. And I find that a lot of people really aren't thinking about all this much. They're gladly receiving the additional interest income, but they're not thinking about those second, third order negative effects that can come at them at tax time.
All right, Marshall Clay, thank you so much. And for more tips to save and protect your money, be sure to tune in here each Tuesday on 48 News at 4.